It's Coach Tresa, and today we're talking about how to talk about money with children and building a foundation for a lifelong, healthy relationship with money. Should you tell your 7-year-old how much you make? How do you talk to a teenager who thinks money grows on trees? We don't want our kids to worry about finances, but we also don't want them to be clueless about money either. Many parents struggle with when, how, and what to share about money with their children. So let's break down the challenges of financial conversations with kids, and I'll give you a roadmap for building healthy money relationships that will serve them throughout their lives. Why is talking about money so hard? Many of us avoid talking about money with our children because we're uncomfortable talking about money with anyone. Maybe our own parents never talked about money in front of us, or we have complicated feelings about our financial situation. It can feel hard to teach what we are still learning, and we want to protect them. We worry that discussing money might create anxiety or make them feel insecure about the family's financial situation. And maybe we don't know where to start. Money can feel like such a big, complex topic. How do you explain budgeting to a 5-year-old or investing to a teenager? But here's the truth. Avoiding money conversations doesn't protect our children. It leaves them unprepared. Money is everywhere in their world, and they're already forming beliefs about it. So we might as well be a guide for how to build the right skills and relationship with money. Building the right foundation requires age-appropriate money conversations. To start, we want to meet our children where they are developmentally. So let's break it down by age. For ages 3 to 6, you can teach some money basics. Focus on concrete concepts such as what money is. You can say, money is what we use to buy things we need and want. Show them paper money and coins, help them learn how to count it and practice it with them. You can teach them where it comes from. Say, Mommy and Daddy work to earn money to buy what we need. And they can learn to make some basic choices on their own. Give them a simple decision, such as choosing between 2 cereals and then giving them some money to go to the store and buy the one they like, their favorite, using real dollars. Ages 7 to 10, you can teach them about earning, saving, and spending, because children at this age can grasp slightly more complex ideas, such as earning their own money by receiving an allowance for doing some chores, saving for something they want, using a clear jar so they can see their progress, creating a small budget for a specific item they want to purchase, using the money in the jar that they've saved. Learning that the family also has to make choices about how to spend the money that you make, just like they're doing with the money that they're earning and saving and spending. Ages 11 to 14, begin teaching them about money management. Preteens can handle more sophisticated concepts such as opening a savings account and learning how interest works. Help them build a saving habit by putting aside, say, $5 a week from their chores money and putting it in the savings account. Budgeting can help them avoid learning about instant gratification and create a habit of thinking through how they want to spend their money beforehand. Being included in age-appropriate conversations about family purchases. You could say, we're deciding between a family vacation and updating the kitchen. What do you think is most important? And talk with them about different careers and how education affects their earning potential. Ages 15 to 18. You can teach them how to prepare for their own financial independence because teenagers need real-world financial skills, such as being supported in finding that first job, learning about filling out an application, preparing for an interview, and handling rejection if not selected are essential for long-term financial success. Learning how credit works, as well as its advantages and disadvantages. Exploring how to pay for college or technical school, and setting up a meeting with a financial aid counselor. Seeing examples of your household budget, such as funding the basics of shelter, food, and personal care. Help them get a sense of what a budget might look like for them when they're on their own. you can always seek help from your financial advisor. Here's a thought about financial mistakes. It's better to let your child make some small mistakes with money while the stakes are low instead of trying to protect them. Help them through any emotional reaction to making mistakes so they can learn to manage themselves, as well as learn how to try something different. Now let's talk about money values. We know that teaching kids about values is important with money and all aspects of life. Well, here are 5 important money values that you might want to talk about with your kids. Money value number 1, the connection between money and work. At an early age, children can begin to understand that money comes from providing value to others through work, creativity, and problem solving. Share how your work has value and explain that money is how you get paid for that value. Money value number 2, delaying gratification and saving. Our ability to wait for something or save for a future goal is one of the strongest predictors of life success. Although it can be difficult to help children wait for that toy or treat they want, teaching a child to wait and save for the toy builds self-control, the ability to plan, and promotes a deeper sense of self-satisfaction. Money value number 3. Money is a tool, not a goal. Help your children understand that money helps us achieve what we value in life, whether it's financial security, life experiences, helping others, or pursuing our dreams. This prevents money obsession or money avoidance. When children see money merely as a tool we use to create our goals in life, instead of the goal itself, they develop a healthy relationship with money and make better choices throughout their lives. Money value number 4, living within your means. This fundamental value teaches children that sustainable happiness comes from spending less than they earn, regardless of income level. It encompasses all important aspects of managing money, including earning, saving, budgeting, making choices, and understanding that everyone, rich or poor, has financial limits. Embracing this value can reduce the risk of using debt to solve financial problems, as well as financial stress later in life. Money value number 5, generosity and social responsibility. Help your child see money in a broader context by explaining that we all have obligations to our community and those less fortunate. This doesn't mean feeling guilty about financial prosperity, but rather that prosperity includes responsibility for others. Learning this value prevents the tendency for selfishness while building compassion and a sense of service. And finally, developing a positive money mindset with children. Our family and cultural messages about money influenced our own choices and experiences with money. We've all made mistakes and experienced financial hardships that can have an impact on how we think and feel about money now. We often forget that our children can overhear us complaining or disagreeing about money, and they usually believe what they hear. It's our job as parents to do our best to consciously portray healthy financial behavior and teach them to think positively about money for themselves. In the accompanying workbook, I've created a roadmap for talking to your children so you can provide the foundation for a healthy relationship with money throughout their lives. Remember, the goal isn't to raise children who are overly focused on money. It's to raise children who understand money as a tool for building the life they want. Start these conversations early, keep them age appropriate, and don't be afraid to learn together. What money conversation will you start with your child this week? Start small. Start today. And remember, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to begin.